Hi everybody, today we're going to see how I draw Sparkplug. So like usual, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch just to get everything where I want it to be. Let's see, what about, let me think of a good pose. This is going to be fairly simple because a lot of the coloring takes care of everything on Sparkplug. Because a lot of her design is built into the skin. So most of it is about the color. So as long as I get everything in the right place, it should be pretty simple. Let's see, there's a boot there. Now about a leg back there like that. Let's give her, let's see, she's gotta have that whippy hair like that. Get the eyes in place. Let's see, they're kind of big eyes, right? And her little backwards hat. I think, let's see. I think that ought to be close. Just gotta make sure I'm happy with it before I get started. And I know you probably can't see this. This is more of a sketch for me, just to make sure I have everything in its right place. And then when I'm ready, I'll switch over to Sharpie, and you can see it much better. And I think I'm about ready. Make sure there's nothing else I forgot. Just got stripes on the side that are kind of disappearing down there. Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm going to switch over to a couple of Sharpies. And you can probably start with your pencil now that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with some eyes up here. Since I've already sketched it out, I know where it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and draw her eyes like this. And I'm going to kind of thicken it up just a little bit on the top for some eyeshadow. Draw a couple of pupils like that. Let's give her some eyebrows. And just little holes for the nostrils, because those just don't stand out very much. Let's give her a little bit of a smile. Top lip. Bottom lip. And I think we're good there. So I'm going to stick with the Sharpie, or the Sharp Sharpie, to add a little bit more detail here. So I'm going to draw a tiny little buckle right above her head. And if you got room, draw the inside. If not, that's okay. No big deal. I know her hair is going to stop right there, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that line over to the edge here. Thicken it up just a hair. And I'm going to draw the top of the inside of the back of the baseball hat. I know that sounds very descriptive, but the top of the back of the front of the baseball hat, that's sideways in the beginning of the end of the start. Silly, right? Okay, and there's a little strap that holds the hat on like that. So now I can draw her little whippy hair. So I'm going to start right here, go down like this, and come back, and do like that. And since I didn't connect there, I'm going to go ahead and connect. I hit perfectly over here, so I don't have to worry about connecting too much. And then I'm just going to draw a little bit more in the hair like that. So before I switch over to the big Sharpie, I'm going to do a few more little pieces of hair just to be able to use this sharp Sharpie, and then I'll switch to the thicker Sharpie. So I'm going to come down here like this and do that little piece of hair like that. And that's good. And let's see, let's do a couple others like this. Okay, and I'm going to thicken up this edge just a little bit because sometimes it looks a little too thin compared to this big fat Sharpie. So I'm going to make it stand out and match just a little bit more by adding thicker edges right there. So let's draw the rest of her head. So I'm going to come down here like this for her jaw, her chin, and up like that. And it may not be perfect, but that's just how we're drawing. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. And there's her neck. So now I can add just a little bit of the hair with the sharp Sharpie on this side. And again, I'm going to thicken up the edge just to make it stand out more. Alrighty. Couple more. Just to make all that work together, right? Okay. Couple of lines like that just to add some detail. Give it a little bit of technique. It doesn't have to be exactly where I did it. It can be wherever you want to do it. I'm just adding some detail. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw the rest of her baseball hat and draw the rest of her. I'm going to switch over to the big fat Sharpie so I can get a big thick line here. So I'm going to draw the top of her hat like that. See how much thicker that is? That's why I wanted to make this a little thicker too, just to make it blend in and match just a little bit more. I'm going to hide this a little. With your pencil, you shouldn't have done that, but my Sharpies are super big, super bleeding, and that's just the way of the Sharpie, right? So let's go to the rest of her. Now I'm going to have her with her hand up, like she's proud and she's strong. So I'm going to draw her shoulder in like this and follow it all the way down to draw the side and come back up. So I'm going to come down to draw her bicep, her forearm, and then her wrist like that. And she has gloves and the same kind of little communicator thing everybody has on their wrist. And so now I'm going to bring it back up and pretty much draw the same thing. So I'm going to draw like this, and that'll give me her her inside arm. So she's kind of walking, so I have one leg behind the other. So since I knew where I was going with the sketch, I went ahead and did a line like that. Let's go ahead and do her hand. I'm just going to draw a fist like I always do. Little thumb in like that. T for the hand. And there's her hand. Or the fist, right? Okay, so now her shoulder is up, because when you hold your hand up like that, it raises this muscle. So we're going to go up a little bit like this. Okay, and we're going to draw that bicep, just a little one. We don't want to go too big. And then I'm going to draw the rest of her arm. Here's her forearm like this. And I'm going to draw the rest of it on this side like that. I'm going to bring it in. Here's her back. And I'm going to go ahead and draw it all the way down to right there, because that's where I'm going to attach other stuff, but at least I've got that drawn, right? So let's go ahead and draw her fist that she has right there. So fist is going to be like this. Okay, and look, it's kind of like a swirly, but she's got to remember where to stop, and we'll go into those details a little bit later, but for now we're just going to do it real simple. And I'll draw those details of those fingers in with a sharp Sharpie in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and continue where I am here. So I'm going to bring the front of her leg like this. And since I didn't connect here, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So see, it doesn't always work out, but you just go back and fix it and make it work. So let's draw the back of her leg. Well, let's draw the front shin guard and knee pad that she has here. So I'm going to do something like this for the knee pad. And let's see, we'll connect it with a strap like that. The shin guard is going to kind of be something like that. And again, those are connected, or they're held on by straps. So our boots are right about there, so we can draw some pant folds and creases like that. Draw the boot in like this. Draw the top of the foot down, over, and the heel. And like everybody else, she's got those treads that we just kind of simulate. Doesn't have to be exact. And let's draw the back of her leg, which is back behind this one because she's kind of walking, right? So we're going to start right about here for the back of her leg. And she doesn't have anything on that one, so it's just a boot only. So we can pretty much do this. And there's the toe all bent over like that. And let's draw those treads. And that'll be good for that. So that's pretty much all we got to do. I'm going to add a little bit more detail with the finer Sharpie and then come back with the color to take care of the rest of it, right? So I'm going to draw her backpack strap right here. Ooh, I think I need a new Sharpie. This is way too thin, right? Where's my other one? Okay. There we go. Much better. Let's do the other one here. Backpack strap. Real thin right beside it. And then she's got a armband on. Okay. And she does have gloves, but it's going to be colored in, so that's going to take care of that. This, she has a little strap right there for that glove. And she has some tattoos, but again, I'm going to take care of that with color. So let's draw her shirt collar like that. And she has a necklace that is a washer, or a nut, I think is what it is. It's, I'm just going to draw some stuff like this because it's a chain that's holding it. A nut from the stuff she works on, right? Because she's a mechanic. So I'm going to go ahead and draw her belt. She has color to her clothes and all this detail, but I'm going to take care of that with the coloring part. So I'm just going to draw her belt. 2 lines like that. And go ahead and just draw some kind of little belt, a little bit thicker than the rest, just to kind of stand out that it's the belt buckle. And then she has some leg straps, I guess is the best way to put it, over here on this side. And then here, since that's her boot, we'll go ahead and draw some laces, right? Not much, just gonna imply that there's laces. Just a bunch of X's. And since we did it there, let's go ahead and do it here just for a little bit. Okay, and until I color it, that is Sparkplug. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.